Allie, Taylor. Hey, congratulations for High Expectations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're so excited. So excited.
It's a great film, but let's ask that obligatory easy question that we always ask is, what initially attracted you folks to High Expectations? Taylor, why don't you start first?
Yeah, I think the story first, right there, it's an inspirational story. It makes you feel good. And so I was drawn to that. Also, I'm a huge sports fan. So the fact that there was soccer in it and that I was going to have the opportunity to play a professional soccer player, I think really got me excited. And then the character at the end of the day, because you need to connect with someone. And I think there are some universal themes in the film and within Jack and what he's going through that I think a lot of people will connect with, as I did. But it has that sort of David versus Goliath story where he feels a bit down and out, and he has to overcome basically the world telling him he's not good enough, and in that his father telling him he's not good enough. And I think a lot of people have felt that before. And so I was really excited for the opportunity to bring that to life and embody that.
How about for you, Allie?
Oh yeah, I mean, same here. I really just loved my character, Sophia, who she is, who she was, being that light and being able to relate to her as far as even her musical journey, and also her journey of wanting Jack to get better, to be better, because she knew his potential. Oh, I loved that. And the story throughout, I mean, is really, it's touching and it was moving. And that's what really drew me in.
Could you both tell us about how you worked on the chemistry, with each other? It's almost sort of like a romantic, unromantic type of chemistry between Jack and Sophia throughout this entire film.
Yeah, the chemistry came pretty naturally,
Yeah.
I would say. Once we were on set across from each other, that I think we did one rehearsal in Atlanta because we'd only met over Zoom, and we were outside. We kind of read through a handful of scenes, but once we were on set, it really did come naturally, and we just kind of flowed with it. And Jonathan, our director, was fantastic and captained us through, and we went with all of our impulses and intuitions.
Yeah, I love that. It really was effortless, and you don't know when you kind of get there. And it was my first film, so for me, I loved it, and I knew it's like, okay, when I met Taylor, I was like, I like this guy, like I know that he's amazing, and we are gonna have an amazing experience. And we had so many laughs and just moments together, and it was so much fun. Like, the scenes we did were so much fun.
Taylor, you were amazing on this, not just for the acting part, but for the physicality. Tell us about your experience and preparation for soccer. And do you really play soccer?
Oh, thank you so much. I've never played soccer a day in my life. No, I'm kidding. That would be wild. I grew up playing fairly competitively, which was nice. And so the opportunity to get back on a field was great. And so we were meant to shoot earlier than we did, and then the pandemic hit. And so we had a few months that were pushed. And usually that's unfortunate just for scheduling. But I took it as a blessing because I spent like 2 months just really going out. I have a couple of friends who played through college. And so I would just ask them if they could just, like, a few times a week go to the field with me and practice getting a touchback and everything. Because the hardest thing is, one, not just being able to do it, but being able to feel comfortable where you could still have lines and still be in character and embody whoever that is while you're on set doing scenes. And so, yeah, I was so happy to get out there and kick the ball around. But I'd played a little bit in the past, and then there was a few months of training leading up to it.
Taylor, I have to ask about these stadium scenes, because it seems like the movie pulled off, the Ted Lasso experience for you. What was it like playing, acting in a, I want to say, nearly an empty soccer stadium?
It's true. So we were in a big stadium in Atlanta, and then use plates. So they would have maybe only 100 or 200 fans sit in different areas behind us when we were filming, but then otherwise there were blue screens. And so there's one scene, without giving too much away, where I score a game-winning goal. Or I guess that gives away the result of that game, but it was early on in the film. And when I scored it, we were meant to be celebrating, and the director would come up and he goes, "Remember, there's 30,000 people in the stadium, so you have to imagine that the noise is deafening and people are chanting your name." And so it was fun to imagine that being the case without actually having 30,000 people there. And so that was a little bit of the trickery of just using your imagination, but it was fun just having 200 people and the rest of the crew clapping, because they appreciated it when there was a shot on goal that they were like, "Oh wow, that wasn't bad."
Allie, tell us about your nerve-wracking experience of singing, which is probably a lot easier than Taylor playing soccer.
Oh, that wasn't nerve-wracking. I think the nerve-wracking, because I'm used to it, but I think the nerve-wracking thing was like the first scene, kind of getting through that, doing that. But once I kind of did that, it was so great. And then from there, I really adjusted, and Taylor was there to really guide me, and the director, who was fantastic. And that's what really made me, become her.
Can you elaborate more about the song "High Expectations," which is also the title of the film? Could you tell us more about that, and doing 2 versions of that song?
I love it. Oh, so much, because it's such a sweet one, and it's for Jack. And it's, if you really dig into the lyrics, it really touches you. I'm tired of those high expectations, and just tell them tell those high expectations where to go, to all those who doubted you. So I mean, they're touching. And I recorded that in Atlanta, and the studio was, I loved it. And when we filmed Sophia singing that and recording that, actually the director, he was moved to tears, and that was really, really sweet.
And what about also singing that version in Spanish too?
Oh, I love that one. I think I love that one more. But I mean, I love them. And
yeah, the one in Spanish is beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Taylor. Thank you so much. I love it. I think so. And just having those versions, it's like I couldn't have anything better, really, because it's not just one, it's 2.
That's great. And Taylor, a lot of your scenes is with Kelsey Grammer. It's one of those things where you could imagine him as a good father. I mean, how was it working with him?
It was really great working with him. He's an amazing actor. He went to Juilliard, has obviously a storied career and so much experience. And so he was so comfortable on set, and it was fun because we were at odds in a lot of different scenes. So we would be chatting in between, having a good time, and then we would lock into our characters, and he just knew how to turn it on, and we'd kind of go at it. And it's just fun to play with other actors in that way. And Kelsey was unbelievable. And like you said, we have a bunch of different feelings in a lot of our scenes. That's not the best way to put it necessarily, but we have different vibes in how the scenes come off. And so some of the more emotional scenes, it was nice to kind of dive into that with him.
Great. Allie, I have the last question with you here. And now you got the taste of that acting bug. I know you've done a little acting before, and maybe through music videos, but this is your first feature leading role. Is this going to be a more permanent fixture, or you're going to go back into the music world again?
I would love to do, well, of course, music and more acting. Oh, I would love it. I know I'm going to continue to do auditions and seek more projects and other films. And I'm so excited to see what's ahead, but I really couldn't have asked for a better first film than High Expectations.
I know. Well, congratulations to both of you, Ali and Taylor.
Thank
There
you.
were high expectations for this movie, and you reached that.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.